Good morning, people. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. How are you all doing? Are you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed? Good morning. Yes, today is Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, and the time is about 4:55 a.m. Yes. Oh, you notice on the screen, I got you can see like a curtain or something. Yes, I'm in bed right now, and I have a mosquito net out there, a canopy on my bed. I think it is so neat to have. Yeah, it came in. I got it last year actually when I was going to move overseas to uh, an East African country where they got mosquito. I said, well, I don't want dengue fever. You know, many of you know I'm very proactive when it comes to my health and everything. So yeah, I sometimes might go overboard. I don't believe in disease, and I've been always really proactive about certain things like my health. Yes, good morning. Yeah, so it's a little net. It's a black mesh, and it is so cool to go. I feel like I'm doing camping right now. Yeah, my imagination. I love these little props and gadgets and things like that. Try to improve your quality of life. It's really neat. Yeah, it's nice to have. Yeah, I just put it up 2 days ago, and yeah, I have the windows closed actually. Yes, the weather is getting hot right now. This month is going so quickly, so quickly. Yes, can't believe it. And with that, the heat. I try to leave if I'm going to go out, leave early in the morning to avoid that heat. It's still cool outside in the morning, early mornings, uh, and I'm finding out now. Yeah, tomorrow is the first day of summer. Oh my! Yeah, first day of summer. I can't believe it. This whole year is going fast. Oh well. Well, what I wanted to talk about today. Um, Is there something going on out there in the media? Is there war on your health? I, I'm starting to notice things. I mean, I've been noticing for a while, but it's like again, is there war, a secret war on your health? Yes, yes. As you get older, more things could arise. But I'm thinking, some things. I'm starting to think that some things are not just aging, but that it is being strategically altered, and that some people just get it slowly, like a drip over time, and some people get it like a flood. Well, I'm really focusing on those things that seem to like trickle down, and just things, you do everything regarding your health. You do all the right things. You exercise. You drink plenty of water. But as time goes on, it just seems like it's not enough. It's not enough. It's always something. You just really start to question, and I'm starting to question. Like many of you know, I enjoy watching YouTube. Yes, has its problems in itself. Watching social media, the videos. Yes, it's highly addictive. And yes, that's a problem in itself. Even getting help is an addiction trying to find health. The more you watch, the more you want to watch. Yeah, And am I telling the truth, people? Are you noticing this? You're watching more and more, but it in itself has its problems. I was, again, just watching videos, um, and the commercials that come on, and they always these commercials are always selling something. But I'm into science and health past 40 plus years, and I'm starting to notice like a pattern. I'm wondering whether these commercials, the products, it's not just the commercials, the products, are they creating the problem? I know that's a hot button. That's a hot button. But it's a lot of the commercials that come on, watching your favorite video, and then the commercial comes on, and a lot of times I press the button to go to the website, like they say, you want to know more about it, click the button. So I did, and I noticed the format is identical. It could be a video, a commercial, advertisement that might be like a half an hour, 40 something minutes, and it's very compelling to watch. You just want to watch more. Sometimes I get a little impatient and they're just kind of long winded. And yes, sometimes I can get long winded, but not deliberately. It's just how I process information and express myself. Because as I'm doing this type of video, like right now, I, I may not know exactly what I want to say, but I know that I need to address an issue because I start to notice things. But I'm wondering, like I'm going through the process itself and exploring what is it. Something you don't know what it is, but you know it's something, right? So I like today, I'm watching. It was a health video. Um, the health video was about um, foods, different types of foods, and yes, I was a food major. Well, nutrition major to be more specific. I was a nutrition major in the master's program that I completed. Um, but it's like, what's going on? Like they were saying, certain foods. Growing up, they tell you, oh, eat your veggies, eat this and that, right? You know. Um, but the guy was saying, and I've been hearing this argument for a while now, past maybe, yeah, past 2 years actually, that certain healthy foods. Oh, I hope my canopy's not going to fall. It was just shifting. You saw that? Yeah, it had fallen off. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I did a makeshift thing to put the canopy up. Oh, I did the, but yeah, because I can't put a hole in the ceiling. So I have this tape and it slipped off. Okay, so I hope it stays on. Yeah, anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt there. Yeah, I was watching a video on nutrition, and yes, I'm getting older. We're all getting older. If you're alive, you're getting older. Um, Different foods that you eat, and in the food health community, especially when you go to health food stores, you notice what's often promoted? Kale, the vegetable kale, Kale, kale. And they also mentioned spinach. Now, I love my spinach. And they were saying that those two veggies has a component in it that does havoc to your system. And it's like, man, why is it that it seems like, you try to do the right thing, and the person that's been interviewed was a raw vegan for X number of years, but it resulted in ill health for him. And I'm remembering right now, there was another YouTuber I was following during that pandemic, and he too, he was a chiropractor, but he was into this nutrition stuff. He sold supplements, and he lifted his weights and everything, and he noticed he noticed his health. He started um, bleeding from his rectum, and he discovered that the foods that he was eating was hurting his body. I forget exactly how he discovered that, but it has these components. Plants have a natural component to it to protect itself. It's a coating over, the leaves or the nuts, the seeds, legumes. And if eaten, and especially if it's large quantities, it like tears a hole. Like these, I guess, microabrasions on your GI tract, and these substances, it becomes very porous, and things that's supposed to stay in doesn't, and it can get in your body and cause inflammation. And inflammation could cause a whole bunch of symptoms in your body, arthritis, all over. And I'm thinking, people been eating veggies and nuts over the centuries, and if something were really bad for you, wouldn't it have just been eventually eliminated from your diet? And it just seems like everything causes diseases. Everything. I mean, I successfully completed this master's program in nutrition, but it really didn't teach us the study of the food itself. I mean, we had to learn biochemistry. They talk about what vitamins do. Or if you get this disease, you should avoid that. But, it seems like the food sources that we eat today, just basic stuff, is getting us sick. So here I'm watching this video about the food, and um, they talk about certain things. And then the commercial came on. And yes, it was a health related commercial. And it was about tinnitus. Now, it seems like these doctors, they call everything tinnitus if it has to do with sound that you hear in your ears. And I had accounted, I mean, I'm a healthy person. I grew up very healthy. Outside of menstrual cramps, I was a healthy chick. And I was very active. I didn't have, outside of those cramps that I get every month, I was a healthy, lean, uh, physically active person. I enjoyed walking, blah, 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 blah. So, yes, we get, oh, see, they try to make you think that, oh, it's just natural, growing old, you'll get more aches and pains, right? But something's not sitting right. And with these commercials, like this commercial that now that I was being referred to was about hearing loss and hearing this sounds in your ear. And they, what they mentioned that I did not know with this so-called tinnitus, that it puts a stress on your nervous system, and that it allegedly causes your brain to shrink It's like something is being fired in your head, in your brain, and affecting your neural system with this noise. And then, after this long dialogue, it was. I was curious. I wanted to watch it. I said, I have nothing better to do right now. What do they have to sell? What is it? It was a product, and the product um, to resolve these issues, the tinnitus, which could cause other ailments down the road, like Alzheimer's or dementia. You just buy their stuff. And so you just put in 2 droppers in your water, and after like the first month, you should get, you start to get improvement, and the optimum, it's 3 months, and then but really, if you want to get it done right, take it for 6 months. And I notice a lot of the commercials that I watch, it's like the same thing, like you could buy just 1 bottle, but it takes like 3 bottles. I mean, I meant to say 3 months supply, or maximum like get a 6 month supply, and then they show you the price. Yeah, you have to go through the whole video just to get what product, and then how much the product. And I noticed that the format of these commercials that come out to buy a product, a supplement, it's always the same format. How it looks, how the website looks. It looks identical. So here, this was about tinnitus supplement. Or let's say something about your teeth. The same thing, the same type of same format, the same layout of the advertisement for that product that they're selling. And then the other thing I noticed, the price also is about the same. They all cost the same amount. They all. All that I see the sunrise is coming slowly. Yes, I just noticed it on the screen that, when you look on the screen, you see it getting lighter and lighter. It looks brighter on the screen than when you look with your eyes, regular, look on the actual sky. Sorry, now my voice is getting a little hoarse. I apologize. People start noticing. It could be any product. It could be for your vision problems. You just take this, to see maximum, get the 3 months. Oh, but you could get the 6 months and get the best deal. Identical. And I bought some of these products. I bought the products for the teeth, products for the eyes. And I really don't perceive any real changes. I mean, they make them sound very scientific. But like today's video for the tinnitus, again, the tinnitus, when you hear sounds coming from your ear, it's like a tone. Now I too was getting, I mean, again, I'm a healthy person, and sometimes these things creep up on you. The first evidence of this hearing problem might have been like 16 years ago. And I was sleeping on my side, and I just rolled on my back, but I rolled on my back kind of fast, and the room was spinning. And I said, "Whoa!" So I just stayed, laid still until it passed. It took maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then I got up. Everything seemed straight after that. But I said, hey, let me check this out. So I went to my doctor, the ER room, and I told him what symptoms I had, what happened. And he examined my ear. He couldn't find anything physically wrong. He said, hey, let me just try something. So he grabbed my head, and then he did like a whiplash movement, from side to side. Like he grabbed the chin and the head and did a maneuver to whip the head. And honey, the room started spinning, and I started crying. Ah, we're like that. I don't know. It's moved. The room is moving. The room is moving. Whoa! I think I started to cry because it was like whoa. Because I'm not used to things like that. Uh, again, I'm a healthy person, and some of you get symptoms, these exotic symptoms. Hey, what's going? You feel vulnerable. That's I felt vulnerable. What's happening? He said, "Oh, you have vertigo." He said, "Benign something something vertigo, PBB, no BPPV. The abbreviation." And but it cleared up. It was just that one-time thing. And then fast forward in 2018, um, I did go to a function, and yes, I had alcohol. I was not drunk, and it was a hotter than usual day. I have to add that. I think that's a big factor. And I get home early from the festivities, had a cup of tea, and I stayed up all night, and then I eventually fell asleep. I had like 2 hours sleep, but I felt fine. I had I was sleeping on the sofa thing. It doesn't lie flat, and my neck was kind of kinked to the side, you know. And I think I sat up, something that I did. I moved and, repositioned myself. And then I knew something was wrong. I knew, yeah, my body felt funny. And then um, the vertigo, the spinning a little bit. And no, I was not drunk. It's like 20 something, 20 hours after the everything. And so I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what's going on? I felt funny in my body. That was it. It was the spinning, the room spinning was not the issue. Because I've had it before. The doctors, tell me what it is. It's just vertigo. You could do these physical exercises that shift that shift the crystals in in your inner ear, and they just need to be repositioned. But my whole body felt funny. Um, so in short, I finally arrived to the ER room, did a CAT scan. Um, they 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 thought it might have been, oh, what's that? Part of an aneurysm. But I've since had it rechecked, and everything's in normal. So-called. They use this term a lot. Well, based on your age now, the things that's your arteries and stuff is of someone your age. I don't like how that sounds. I want to be beyond healthy for my age. But either way, they said everything's normal. Uh, but why I'm mentioning this story? Okay, these things that happen within your body, and let's say you're health conscious, but now you're hearing that the food itself is causing you harm. Eating these kale, or even almonds, raw almonds, the coating of it has this component of it that scratches, irritates your GI tract. Why is the food harming you? Are the foods that we're eating being weaponized to harm you? There's a movement now to, go vegan. The cows are uh, polluting the air with methane gas, and you have to stop eating these cows. I mean, people, you eat what you want to eat. I'm not here to um, act like a mother, and you got to do this, do that. I mean, it's your body. You do you. I'm just saying, hey, what's going on here? Especially those people who are health conscious, people who avoid processed food, heavily processed food, that they alter it. They did mention on this video that eating food that's disguised to look like other food, like meat substitutes, is a no-no. Highly processed, and your body may find it hard to manage. And you consume them, and your body's trying to figure out how do I metabolize this? And then you wonder why you're getting fatter and fatter. All these things. What's going on, people? What's going on? Are the foods that we eat being weaponized to harm us? And then more and more these commercials are coming up. Take this, take that. Oh, you're getting those and then the format again of all these. Oh, I mean, it's different supplements, different things for treating this or curing that. Well, they can't use the word cure, but it's supposed to resolve these issues. I'm wondering, start noticing, people, the format and the cost of each bottle identical. No matter what the product is that they're offering you, how it's presented and displayed on the camera, on the website or the commercial, and the cost for each bottle. How is it that it's uniformly the same price if you just want to buy one bottle to see if it works, or if you get the 3-month supply or the 6-month supply? They all seem to cost identical no matter what you buy. They got people like me that are into their health, into this and that, and somehow, hey, let me try this out. Let me at least try it. I'm wondering whether they are all in on it. Are these the same makers? Are they creating the problem? This is expression, problem, reaction, solution. Problem, create a problem. You get a reaction. Oh, we got a product for you. Problem, reaction, solution. This is what a YouTuber taught me, that those phrases. But is it accurate? Is something going on? And we've fallen for it. These health issues. Yeah, we get older. I mean, but really, we some of us are really trying to live a good life, especially with foods. and then they said, no, you shouldn't eat these foods. Now, I went to my, I'm a veteran, and I had gone, one day I woke up with these spots on my body before, overnight. I first went to a so-called specialist and his snake oil medicine. Yeah, that's how I feel about him. And then, then I decided to go to my, the VA hospital. With the VA hospital, it's an excellent place to go to for acute illnesses. Like, let's say you get hit by a car, or you're walking and you twist your ankle. Things like that they understand. But like things like doesn't have like an obvious break or whatever, they don't know. So I wanted to go to someone outside of the VA, and I thought I got to get the so-called best. Just to walk in his his course was over $500, just to move your butt in there. Excuse me. And then on top of that, the so-called medicines. They're all enzymes they have me eat. Oh, I think this is this. And the way how he decided what I had, he did. It's some type of kineta something. Like he has you uh, raise your arm to your side, and he puts the a questionable item next to you, and then he attempts to push your arm down. And if you are able to push, keep your arm up as he pushes downward, then that's not a problem for you, that particular item. But if you can't keep your hand up when he's pressing on it, oh, it's a problem for you. And this was his snake oil methods. And then, of course, you got to buy all his enzymes. Now, then he says, probably have leaky gut. Leaky gut. Okay. Well, they got leaky gut. What caused these spots? And eventually faded. And when I got his diagnosis, that it's not like a fatal disease that I had with the spots, then I went to my the VA hospital, and they didn't know what it was. And said, hey, I went to some place, and they said may have leaky gut. And you know what the guy says? There's no such thing as leaky gut. There's no evidence, blah, 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 blah. Here we go again. They, the people that they recruit that work at the VA hospital, they have a contract with a particular school here in New York City. And that's where they get all their students from. And I think that is problematic. And that they're selling, so to speak. Oops. Sorry about that. The thing just fell down. Oh well, I have to put back up the fishnet. It fell. Okay. Oh well. So anyways, yeah, I noticed that like medicine is being marketed. It seems marketed in New York City that okay, the doctors all come from one source. They're taught the same thing, and they taught how to think about a particular situation. Now you have many people from many locations, lifestyles, but you have the same medicine. And I think that's problematic because you're going to be looking at a problem with the same eyes, and it may require a different way of looking at things. You can't always look at a problem with the same eyes, especially if you're dealing with a different patient. Different problems, different lives are different, you can't look at it all the same way. But that's what's happening. And with the dangers with that is that then the treatment is the same too. It doesn't vary. Everything is like a clockwork, what's that table? Like an assembly line. Everything's the same. It's a cookie cutter. And no matter what the symptom is, they're going to prescribe the same type of thing. Or they'll just say, they blame you for the problem. You have this with something you did. Or why, rather than just saying, I don't know. But they start to blame the victim, the patient. I mean, one person lied and said, "Oh, you have earwax." Yeah, because I had developed this pain in my ear once. And again, I never got this before. Never. I don't do anything different. I don't put what do you call walk around with a ear thing. What do you call it? Headphones on. I don't. I don't listen to loud music. Um, so what's happening? Why is this happening? That is the question. And you have the same approach to a problem, and I'm wondering whether the symptom, especially after the past 3 years, from 2020 from 2020 to 2022, the fear mongering that I experienced, and people were afraid. I was afraid. I was extremely afraid at times. Um, and then I discovered here in New York City, you couldn't get certain treatment. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, you couldn't get certain treatment. And I was getting concerned because the winter was approaching at this particular time in my life. And I want to be proactive. I'm that type of person because someone, a close person, had almost died. They're better now, but it was a close call. And I didn't want to wait for something to happen. So I, I contacted my primary care physician. I said, I'm well, everything is good, but the winter is coming up, and I was just a little concerned if something, you know, if I get that particular COVID-19, what do I do? Are you able to prescribe? See, I was listening to alternative news, and they were mentioning certain protocols that you can take. Well, guess what, people? Guess what? The state of New York does not offer that particular. I'm not. I don't remember whether they used the word banned, but that they do not offer it in the state of, and they're not allowed to give it. This particular protocol, and yet people are taking it and they're getting good results. And then those doctors who had this alternative medicine, they were they were pulled from the internet. They were pulled from YouTube, Facebook, everything. So they had to have their own website to get the news across. Hey, this is a possible remedy. They had excellent results with it. So my doctor, and again, to get the doctors from the same school in New York City, they are, but it's like monopolizing medicine here in New York City. That all the doctors there, they go to the same school, especially if they, at least with the VA hospital, Veterans Affairs Hospital. There's several here in New York City. New York City is a big city, and so they have several of these major hospitals here in the different boroughs. You know, so I just go to one of them. Um, but these doctors just have a narrow approach. And the doctor says to me, when I asked them about this particular protocol, this particular um, product to take, um, they don't offer it. And they said, even if you go somewhere else, they cannot give you it. they're not allowed to give it. See that? They're not allowed. Who said so? Who decides what medicine you can take or not take? It's not, and it wasn't something that was just produced and haven't been tested. This was something that was in the market for 60 years, 60 years. But yet they want you to do something that wasn't tested. You actually taking it is the test itself. So my primary care physician had said, because I started getting I started getting a little more panic. I said, "Well, what do I do? What do I do if I get sick?" Oh, well, we don't have any treatment here at the VA hospital for that COVID-19. We don't have any treatment for it. But if you really get sick and you have to be hospitalized, at that point, we'll give you such and such. It starts with an R, I forget the name. Then I said, Doctor, I heard that name before, and I heard that it causes organ failure. Then she said, I don't know where you're getting your information from. You gotta look at the website of replicable places like the CDC. That's um, I forget what it stands for. The CDC. Um, Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure you guys should know what the CDC. They're in charge of, Center of Disease Control and Prevention, yeah. It's an agency, government agency, and they make regulations of um, different uh, medicines, treatments and things like that. But I told, and as she's telling me that um, this thing is, it's not true that it causes organ failure. And in the background in my room, a video is being played about that particular drug that she said that they would give me if I have to get hospitalized. And it's saying it causes these organ failure. So, brother, I was so bent out of shape. Yeah. What do you do, people? It feels like a weaponization, a war against your health, a war on you to not get the treatment that you desire, or the variability. Different strokes for different folks, right? One size does not fit all. And to ban a whole city that has millions of people, New York City has several million people. It's one of the largest cities in the country, in this country, the USA. And when they prevent you access to certain treatment, and when the people who make these new concoctions, these new remedies, it's like they want to monopolize on certain types of treatment. And don't you think with these treatments that they're getting paid, they're getting their pockets rich? Or let's say you're an investor and your investment's at stake if people don't buy you this product. So I'm seeing a pattern. I'm seeing that there's a possible pattern with what we watch in the media, and then when we get these commercials that come on regarding health. And again, what I was just watching was your tinnitus, and I was getting this ear problem, this inner ear, this balance problem, came out of nowhere. And once in a blue moon, I get this earache. I never had earache as a child, or my 20s, 30s, 40s. Now, why is these things happening now? And people could just dismiss, oh, you're just getting older. We're all getting older. The other issue I notice, that the foods, as I mentioned earlier in this live stream, the foods that we eat, the everyday food, bread. In New York City, people eat a lot of bread products like bagels and pizza. Okay, that's a bread-based product, and then they throw a cheese on top of it, or sometimes like veggies or some meat. But that bread, boy, you have so many people with gluten sensitivity. They say something about that bread, and you have a lot of obesity in New York City. And a lot of the new people who come across the board, yes, I say it like that. They're coming in with health issues, and you can see it down the road. They're going to have some serious diabetes, and so now they're going to have more access to bad food, fast food, and you think they're big now. Wow, they're going to really be Porky Pig in a few. Yeah, and their kids too. They're going to be creating disease, sick people, and where they're going to go. They're going to go to the clinic down the road, the hospital down the road, right? And they're going to have the same protocols of treatment, of alleged treatment, and they never get well. And it's just a dependency on these products. The products didn't cause disease, but they're going to, but taking it down the road is going to create more problems. A lot of these pharmaceuticals, they eventually attack your kidneys, your liver, your pancreas, slowly and slowly, all these problems. Ulcers. I remember one time I was developing an ulcer because they didn't tell me that I had to take it with food. Now, the medicine that they wanted me to take was at bedtime. I don't want to go to food. I mean, and they caused a problem. Luckily, it was caught in time, and it's healed. I had gotten followed up, and it healed, but it was precancerous. They said it was like what they call encapsulated. I said, "Oh wow, wow." And I trusted, this was meant some time ago. I was on this prescription. Yeah, I was a student then. This was, let's see, I finished school 11 years ago. So this is like 15, 16 years ago that I was taking this thing. And it caused a pre-disease. And there's no punishment. There's no liability for taking these things. It's okay, just try something else. So I always feel proactive about my health. I listen to my body. Maybe I listen too much. But it seems like the same thing going on, the same symptoms, the same like protocol, the same type of commercials that come on, and they seem to come on strong and stronger, these commercials, these health commercials. Once you watch one thing, you're going to see a lot more. That's another thing. You watch one commercial, health commercial, or something that's being peddled, you're going to get more of them. And then then they're going to refer you to the medicine or the supplement. Start noticing that each of the supplement, I mean, it could be for different things, but it's the same layout and it's the same cost per bottle. The same exact format. Start noticing. Are these the same companies making these products? Are they? Are they create? Are some of these people creating the problem in the first place? Problem, reaction, solution. We got the solution for you for your hearing problem, or your vision problem, or your memory problem. I have an ancestor, and they lived to 107 years of age. I doubt she passed away in the 1970s, but she lived 107 years when she passed away in the 1970s. She lived in a simple world. She's from the islands. Well, she probably ate fish, right? Probably rice, fish and rice, right? Real simple. Yeah, and all her siblings lived in the 90s, so I think she was the oldest. So something they were doing right. What did they do right? Was the food problematic? See, one thing that we did study in um, the nutrition program that the master's program in nutrition, they did talk about the history, the trends, what was happening in the food industry. That in the 1970s they started to introduce these margarines. They said, well, what's causing disease is fat, saturated fat. So let's create a new product for you. They know damn well that some of these products down there, because you have to study food. You have to see how it reacts to the body. You create a product, an artificial product like margarine. It's not food. But what happened? When margarine was introduced, these hydrogenated oils was introduced to the public. And then low fat, yeah. So it's low fat food. So that like whole milk, oh, let's not have whole milk anymore because the fat is causing disease. That's what they want you to believe. When that's what's actually causing more ill health. To strip the whole milk. I mean, milk, cow's milk, is the milk for that baby calf, right? Does that baby calf drink that milk as skim milk? A food you should always eat how it's formed, how it's presented. Whole milk, drink it whole. The vegetable, whole vegetable, why strip it? It's in its component or package for a reason, for your whole body to metabolize it, not just part of it. But this artificial food that's being made, like the margarine, the hydrogenated oils, and then now they add in GMO, genetically modified. What's the old organ? I forget what the old stands for. But the food is being modified, and our bodies may not be able to recognize the food as food, and so allergies might present itself in your body. I mean, you're following what the doctors say. You're following the food plan. The food pyramid. Well, if you follow that food pyramid, you're probably going to be a sick person. They want you to eat all that bread. Look at it. Look at it. The food pyramid. Yeah, you could just Google food pyramid by the American Medical Association, the AMA. I think I think they created it. Just look it up. On the base level of the food pyramid, you have grains and other starches and vegetables. And you go up the chain, the fat is on the top of the pyramid. So they virtually want you to eliminate all the natural fats from foods, eat a heavy carbohydrate diet. And then meats also very sparingly. It's on the top of the pyramid. It's right below fats. But what's happening that your body needs healthy whole fats for the brain health. Why do you have all these people with Alzheimer's? Someone very close to me has Alzheimer's. Why, what else? Diabetes. Why all these, and a lot of black people with diabetes, real obesity. Now, if we were my logic is this: if we are that obese and that sickly, how did we survive our trauma from the past 400 years? I think we were more healthier back then in the day than now. We're sicker now, even though we have so-called freedom, this new so-called freedom, the freedom to do other things, but our body is still in bondage by sickness, new sicknesses, obesity. And you could just look at a nation, like I used to live overseas. And we see the Americans come on board from those luxury ships, cruise ships, and they all look alike. They walk alike. The body, everybody's overweight, obese, gray hair. They're like clones of each other, and they probably all have the same diseases. When you really look, when you have an opportunity to just move to a different location or overseas, and then you see the tourists, you can look at them and know where they're from because their body type and how they act, how they walk, how they dress. Yes, Americans overseas look alike, act alike, dress alike. And with it, probably have the same diseases. Yeah, this diabetes thing, like we're getting fatty livers, this tummy fat that we can't get rid of. I watch people like today. Today I didn't go to the park. I'm staying in, just staying at home right now. She's about 70 right now, 70 or 71, and she walks every day. And she's chubby. And she's not losing that fat. She's not losing it. And a lot of us, we do the same thing. We're getting up there in age, right? We're getting older. All of us are getting older. If you're alive, you're getting older. And you say, okay, I'm going to do walking, whatever. And you come home, you eat, you get really hungry. How do we stop this cycle? We're exercising, and then we come back hungry. Wow. Yeah, and we eat a lot. Yeah, I can eat a lot. Yeah, especially when you're hungry, and especially after an exercise, So it's like endless cycle that we're going through, an endless cycle. And I feel this is all by design, this whole thing. Oh, you got to be more active. You got to, it's everything. They want you to eat more of the bad foods. And it just seems like that no matter what you do, you're going to get trapped into something, some activity, some type of supplement or pharmaceutical. And it just looks like that they create a social system for you to live in, and that eventually one of those things is going to stick to you. And it's like, wow, it has to stop. How was it that my ancestors was able to live to 107 years of age? And then she had siblings also. They were in the 90s. My mother now is in her 90s. She's 94. But her hearing is, and so when I first started this live stream, I made mention about the audio, the tinnitus. And I remember this person had this sound coming from their ears. Says, hey, I hear this sound. Well, they were making mention in the video that things like tinnitus will later develop into dementia or Alzheimer's. And I said, oh my goodness. But what is causing this tinnitus? I'm wondering whether certain things are being triggered. What is causing this? Yeah, having those those earphones, things like that. Like, let's say you listen to music, you put the headphones on. You might be blasting it. Yeah, it just slowly, slower that the person's hearing loss, and it's like a endless cycle. Oh, I can't hear, so let me turn it up. Oh, I can't hear still, let me turn it up the volume. That definitely is going to cause a problem with your eardrums. And then voila, they're creating a medicine, a supplement that you can just take to resolve your tinnitus. Yeah, see, I start noticing different trends that happen in your body, different parts of your body. Something could be well, you have the same habits, but then something, it's like switches are being turned on, switches of disease, of ailments, not one by one. And as I mentioned, that all of a sudden I was getting a vertigo issue. And I found out somebody else that I know, that I'm close to, vertigo. And these people were healthy people. They're not into loud music, you know? So why these symptoms? And again, they mentioned that this tinnitus is what it causes stress to the brain. It's like someone screaming in your ear. Let's say you're in a room and something is irritating you. After a while, right, you want to pull away from it. You have an aversion, and this sound, constant sound in your head, is causing you anxiety in your body, causing you not to relax, interfering with sleep. Um, what else? And then your brain wants to escape this noise, so it starts to shrink. Hello, Alzheimer's, dementia. Is it normal to hear, like right now actually, I hear like a ringing sound. People, I have an experiment for you to try. See, I live in a big city, New York City, and there's always sound going on. But right now it's relatively quiet in my room, and I'm noticing um, it's like a ring, like a faint like tone sound. I hear it now, and I hear these things like when it gets super quiet. And I'm wondering, is it normal for your body to make noise? Is it normal? Is this the normal? I went to this thing a couple of years ago. It's called the deprivation chamber, a, a deprivation chamber. It's like it's a water bath. It's a salt water bath, and it has like a cover. It's soundproof, and it's supposed to be the same body temperature. So you feel like you're in the womb, and it's dark. The room is dark. It's dark. Well, I only tried it once. Honey, I couldn't believe it. My ear, it was loud. I mean, I, I was curious about this thing, deprivation, because it said that sometimes you can get into this spiritual thing. You might see things of a spiritual nature. So I was just curious. And so I tried it. And well, yeah, ladies, you have to be careful because it'll burn a particular part of your anatomy. And yes, they do provide Vaseline to protect that part of your anatomy. And I'm trying to be very tactful. I didn't know that was going to happen. They have it there. They just say, oh, if you have any cuts, if you were shaving, you had any micro cuts in your body, we will provide you with this petroleum jelly that you can use. And honey, I went into that thing and burn down there. You bet I put that thing on so quick after that. But anyways, once that formality got out the way and I was lying down trying to relax, I hear that humming sound. It's like a high pitch. And I'm hearing it right now. All of a sudden. That's really weird that I hear it now. What is this? What is causing this sound? And I'm wondering, is this what they call 5G? They're introducing new things into their environment, like 5G. Could these artificial things be causing this tinnitus? Why is more and more gadgets, electronic gadgets that they have now they have wearables. These wearable devices, those smartwatches, the Bluetooth, these things are introducing to your body things that it didn't have before. Could these things be causing these new health problems? And then with it, you have those commercials now, because see, now they have us on our devices watching these videos, and then with the videos, the commercials that come with it. And yes, you have the option sometimes to disconnect from the commercial so you can continue watching the video that you're watching. But it just seems very like, oh, well, we got this for you. Oh, you got that problem? It's like you watch the videos that talk about health, like what I was just doing before the commercial came on, and you have an interviewer and you have these scientists, so that they were vegans, raw food vegan, who got sick because the food was killing his body. Allegedly, he said that's what he says, but allegedly that's the cause. He is vegan, and yes, there are components in foods, but interesting. Okay, they didn't really discuss that when I went to school. Uh, with the master's program in nutrition that I did, completed 11 years ago. They knew about some of these components. It wasn't an emphasis. They never said, "Hey, be careful by eating these nuts and seeds because it has that component that can hurt your GI tract." In fact, That is the largest portion of the food pyramid, in the food pyramid, that they tell you to eat. Whole grain. These other things, the green leafy vegetables. And they say, hey, he was saying kale. A lot of vegetarians and vegans, they eat a lot of kale and spinach, but they have these components to it that over time will cause you GI upset. And that now the animals, they don't want you to, they now all of a sudden they're still pushing the veganism, and they want to, they want cows to be removed from the food source. There's always, they're bad for the planet because they release methane gas. You don't think people get methane gas, if you know what I mean? You think they're the only animals that produce gas? It's like, it doesn't make sense. And they're scaring people regarding their health, but they're not really giving them real solutions. Because everything that's being produced now is creating dis-ease in your body. So, what does this all mean? Well, I'd say you have children. What are they eating in school? Well, with that, a remedy, you prepare. See that they make the kid, they're handicapping the parents. Why can't that parent make food? Can't prepare food for their child? Why can't that child bring in food? You know, they have this the food lunch program that it got implemented, I think, in the 1960s or 70s. Yet a lot of people, why can't we afford to buy lunch for our kids? Or why can't we make lunch for our kids? Why are we becoming institutionalized? Why are we institutionalizing our children in these public schools that provide questionable, that some of them may provide questionable lunch? There's always a lot of poor people. Why are there poor people? And if our country is so poor, why are we importing people from these places that they don't have money for food, even from the countries that they live in? And they bring them in loads, and it's weighing down on our system. We can't even feed ourselves. You have the fat, starving person. You have people who are so fat, but yet they are not nourished. Yeah, it's a fallacy. You know, it's like a fallacy. There are people who are extremely overweight, but they're not. But they're undernourished. They're not getting the nutrient. The body no longer could absorb the nutrients, and it doesn't know how to process the food, but it stores everything as fat because it doesn't know how to digest it. So that's how the body handles its stress. We don't know how to handle it. Let's store it as fat. So yeah, they're fat, all right, but they're not healthy. They're undernourished. They don't have the minerals. They're making food. They're making our food difficult to extract the nutrients. They're making foods difficult to extract the nutrients, the carbohydrates that we eat. That has like a leaching effect over the nutrient. Leaching, meaning like let's say you have minerals in your body. Well, this thing is pulling the nutrients from your body. And when that occurs, your metabolic processes are hindered, And you will eventually, because your body needs these minerals to do its metabolic functioning, like magnesium, potassium, uh, sometimes even some certain vitamins are needed for metabolic processing. But now your body can't absorb it. And this is going to cause problem. And it sounds like that the food system, it's controlled by these mega corporations. They have strong lobbyists. They're in government all the time. They go to the Congress people, and they promote certain things. Hey, promote this food or that food, and make it so that I could peddle it to these people. So they get things legalized. But in the end, they get paid. The Congress people get paid. The company gets paid when you buy the product. But it's really nothing to buy. Produce. The produce, the produce section, like when I go to the supermarket, I go to the produce. I said, like, and I always was this way. When I was living on my own, when I moved out of my folks' place, I said to myself, again, that mentality I have is a proactive survivorist type of thinking pattern. Oh, I better eat this food because it's going to promote wellness, and I don't want to get sick. Everything was, I don't want to get sick, so I'm going to eat this, is promote that, right? That was my mindset always. So I knew that anything in the box was not food. And I couldn't afford, money was always very limited. And so I knew that I had to spend my money wisely on real food. But the system makes it easy for you to get that processed food because it's cheaper. They don't want you to get the vegetables or the fruits. They want you to get what's in a bag or box because it's highly processed and they can make big batches of it. It's synthetic food, it's not real food. But over time, it's hurting us. It's hurting us. Just start looking. Look at these people. People that live in certain neighborhoods, especially the poor in urban centers, poor black people in New York City. I noticed the blacks in New York City are getting fatter and fatter. In school, we learned that the sickest person in America are American blacks. But let me tell you another secret. They told us who is the healthiest group in America. Not only is this group the healthiest, but they're the richest, according to statistics. So, the things that I mentioned here is what's in statistics. You have people who measure things. Their job, they measure things. How much of something? How much this? How much that? With anything. There are people who do this for a living. Take down statistics. Yes, you can always manipulate numbers. Yes, 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 you can do that. But basically, who is living the longest and the healthiest, and coincidental, they're also the richest, are people from Asia. They are the healthiest people in the United States, even healthier than white people. Black Americans are the sickest people. Then I think Hispanics, Native American Indians that are living on the Indian reservation, they have it bad too. Yeah, coincidentally, this is really weird about them, what we learned in nutrition school. We had to study, study different statistics. And they're called the Pima Indians. They're near, I think, Mexico. The American half are highly sickly people. They're diabetic, and many of them go on dialysis. That small ethnic group, it's a small group. They actually are the sickest of the sickest people in America, and then American blacks as a whole. But this one small tribe is so exceedingly sick of metabolic issues. But they have cousins living across the border, people, across the border. They're genetic relatives, and they do not have the same symptoms. See, people, you got to listen to this. They are genetically the same. It's like your cousin so and so. Like remember in Germany, they split Berlin down the middle. One half was controlled by the Soviet Union, the other half by the so-called Western powers. But somehow the people in the east of East Berlin had these issues, health issues. Well, the same things with happens in the United States. They're the same people, but one lives on one side of the border. And they have all these symptoms and diseases that their cousins don't have. People, it's environmental. That's what it translates into. It's something in the environment that's producing these diseases in our bodies to get healthy people and turn them into sick machines. This is a wake-up call, people. Don't you wonder why certain things happen in families? I feel that you're being socially engineered certain sicknesses. Or they're creating certain types of supermarket. They're making it so that certain businesses can't stay in business. Look in your neighborhood. Look at the businesses that are out now. And what replaced them? What replaced those stores that were there for years? This could be a clue. They make it so that only certain people could start up a business. Because one thing, you're going to need money to open up that business. How are they able to afford this high rent? The rents are higher, everything's higher, but you have a sector that it doesn't phase. Oh, they just open it up and they thrive. I don't know what magic they're doing, excuse me. I don't know how they're thriving. And someone, a YouTuber, said a clue about something, about certain foods that people are eating certain food. How did it go? Oh gosh, I hope I don't forget. Yeah, that they able. You have fast food places that oh, I'm sorry, these outlets, these shopping outlets that have food that you can buy. I don't want to mention names of these places, okay? But you could use your imagination, those big shopping centers that you can seem to get everything. And he asked the question, how are these people, these companies, able to sell their food so cheaply? How? How do they do this? How are they able to sell? Because see, they notice also that not only are the foods cheaper, but it has air conditioning going on, the lights on, that's money. Electricity costs. Electricity is very costly, very, very costly. To be able to, in the summertime, keep the air cool. It's very expensive. So how are these companies able to stay open if everything is so cheap? He was saying that people are buying, you could buy like a whole meal, something for just one person. It's large quantity and it's inexpensive. And they can serve their whole family with it. And it's cheap. It's inexpensive. How do they do it? Well, this YouTuber suggested that they're being subsidized. These large corporations could be getting subsidized. They have them to market certain things, and because they want you to consume it, they want you to eat it. So they have you buy, and in the end, that corporation might be getting a kickback. They're getting something, a subsidy. They could be getting a government subsidy. Because if the electricity for your air condition that you have on 24/7, if that is on, let's say $100,000. Do they produce? Do they sell $100,000 worth of produce or products? You see what I'm getting at? It's impossible. If everything is discounted, yet your electricity is not discounted, and somehow you're able to pay to pay the rent. It's virtually impossible unless the word subsidies is taken over. They could have people, private organizations could be subsidizing them. That person has a very good point. That could be what is happening. They're subsidizing you going to these stores, getting these discounts, and to stay open, they're giving monies. I think that's what's going on. I think that's a very strong possibility. Something's going on. It's because they know when you eat this, they know what's going to happen. And these other people are marketing off of that reality for you to become overweight, obese. This is an evil. This is a war upon you. The food, it seems, in my opinion, being weaponizing against you. This is sad. This is sad. Yeah, I feel like, I'm in this urban center right now. And the food choices are getting fewer and fewer. I really feel that we need to wake up and somehow communicate to I don't know, but it somehow, it's like we all ate a stupid pill. We see things happening upon us, and we may tell, ask your doctor or, hey, what's happening here? Why am I getting these symptoms? Or what if the COVID-19 comes around again? What treatment? It seems like they don't want you well. They don't want you thinking. And there's no reason for you to feel, have these symptoms. This ring, it's not natural. And is this all what it's about? Having you forget. Creating an industry for the elderly. A sickness. Hey, let's get this prescription for Alzheimer's or dementia. Oh, okay, you're getting moody also. Oh, we got a prescription for that. I say, you know, your health is like gold. Excellent health is gold, and it should be protected. Start noticing the programs you watch on social media when these commercials go on. And start noticing the medicines or supplements that they're selling. Doesn't it look like the same thing? They may call it something different, but how it's presented, the marketing, is identical. And each of the bottles, they're all the same price. Start noticing. Is the same person manufacturing these products? How is it that it's identical, the pricing? How is it? They do different things. You can get a supplement for the eyes, a supplement for digestion, all these different things, and it all costs the same amount. The advertisement is the same. This is something you can look into. They are weaponizing our food against us. Start noticing about your health, about your life. Start noticing, hey, I'm getting these symptoms now. What happened? Hey, my child, or my nieces or nephew, or your grandchildren. You start noticing things. You start noticing certain behavior changes. You start noticing the body, the shape of the body is changing. You start noticing more fat tissue around the waist. Why? Why? Could it be a war on your health and making us all like unnatural? They're creating an unnatural environment for us. Not even having our children asking the mommy, am I a boy or girl? What kind of foolishness is this? Foolery. When you can't even use common sense anymore. Foolery. Foolery upon your life. It is an assault on humanity. And they try to sound scientific. Oh, you can't eat meat. Don't eat meat. Okay, you know, your health is your business. Whether you want to be vegan, raw vegan, it's like, my God. And in the end of all this, they're getting sick. Look at those people out there, the raw vegan people. This guy found his channel a couple of years ago, right during, you know, in 2020. He was a raw vegan he was vegetarian for maybe 10 years, and then a vegan for 5 years or something like that. And he saw he was getting weak, and he was a doctor. Well, he was a doctor of chiropractic, and he sold nutraceuticals, you know, those health products, and you know, all these things for health. And this guy, his own father said, "Hey, son, you don't look good." Yeah, GI problems. How could someone who's knowledgeable about foods, you know, normal food, but see, our food is not normal anymore. It's Frankenstein food, foods that you ate like nuts and you know, seeds, and it's changing. We're getting sicker and sicker. And you have to stop being your own doctor. Start being your own doctor. See, they want to call you paranoid. They want to call you a hypochondriac. I mean, you know, when you start, hey, why am I getting those symptoms? You didn't have it before. Why? Because they're reprogramming you. And what did that guy Schwab person? The new reset. The COVID-19 reset. Yeah. Yeah, this is a reset, all right. They're resetting destruction for us. Yeah, it's a reset. Look what those guys eat. What, don't you ever wonder what those guys eat? These people like, what's that guy? He could be 100 right now. Man, this guy doesn't seem to die at all. How do these people live so long? But your health is shrinking. How is that these people are able to live 100? I can't, I don't remember. Oh, Kissinger. I think he's 100 now. And they get all these other new people. They came out of the woodwork. Where do these people? And you look at them. Start noticing what countries these people come from. Those Nazis never died. Those people from World War II, they got a stronghold and then they dispersed all over the planet. And they're creating Frankenstein food. Even the name Frankenstein comes from that country. They moved to the Middle East. They moved to the Americas. And they've influenced in Africa too. Yeah, it seems like secrets. It's like they're, it's like they're allowing certain places like hands off. I mean, they're doing things. They're creating wars in like places in Africa and famine, but they're not. What do you call it? Geofarming. Because see, you're going to need places on this planet where you can get certain things, and to manufacture. You don't want to destroy everything at once because you're going to need some. These people in power. They're not that dumb. Because you're going to need some places where you can produce certain live plants, or like in the Amazon rainforest. So some things are still being attacked, but it's shrinking. It's something that's just not right. It doesn't sit right with me. People start waking up. Start waking up. And if you have children, watch your children's behavior. Um, are they too on the internet all day? Start walking. Start noticing. Walk outside. If when it's safe to do so, just take a stroll. Outside, and start noticing what people are doing. Are they looking down at their hands because they have their cell phone and they're looking or doing something on it? They're not looking straight ahead. Start noticing. They want us hooked. They're controlling our minds. And again, you have those ear thing, the tinnitus, they call it tinnitus. Do you think these smart devices are creating this tinnitus? And they mentioned tinnitus will eventually cause your brain to shrink, causing Alzheimer's, dementia. That is not a pretty sight. Having dementia or Alzheimer's, it's not a pretty thing. Why are we getting this? Those of you who have a prayer life, pray to your higher power and ask for solutions. That's what I need to do. I said, look, I'm noticing certain things. I mean, I'm on my device all the time. I mean, I share this because, see, I'm noticing things in me. Yeah, we're all getting older. If you're alive today, you are one day older. But you just start noticing certain things. Our bodies are not absorbing certain nutrients. When our bodies are not, we need certain minerals. And certain lifestyle eating habits actually strip our bodies of certain nutrients. And they know this. They know this. These food scientists. You know, our foods are created in a lab. They're treated. They're chemically treated, and they react. Yeah, all these vegans eating the kale. They mentioned kale. Uh, it does things to the body. I mean, you have the juicing. See, they promote all this juicing now, and I thought that was nice. Isn't you getting the raw substance, but you're eating more of it. When you juice, you're eating more of it than you could naturally consume. And it's putting a load on your system, people. Yeah, those people, they drink those mega drinks, those, it's a big thing of the carrots. Well, honey, that thing is going to increase your blood sugar so fast. Yeah, but too much of it. When you eat carrot, you might eat like one carrot, but when you juice, you're eating like what's that, 4 carrots? You might put an apple in it, or it's just it supersized me. Remember, there's a movie, Supersize Me. You heard of that movie? Supersize Me. Even the vegetarian vegan supersize. Let's get the big um, the what do you call it, the smoothie, or you blend the food, or the juicer. You get the big drinks. Yeah, I love big drinks, but it's putting a load on us, a big load on our system, and we're getting bigger around the way. I mean, I knew this. I mean, I don't even watch this person anymore. And I'm not going to give name. Yeah, I started watching this person. It was some year. It was 11 years ago, so it's quite a while. This girl, she liked to ride her bike. She had a boyfriend, and she brags about how many bananas she can eat. She would plop it in a blender. 51 bananas. How she fit it all in there, people? She had one of those giant blenders, and she would eat in one sitting or drink in one sitting 51 bananas. And she's encouraging everybody to, be slim. I mean, yes, she was slim, all right. But she was a young girl, a young 20-something year old with a boyfriend. Okay. Oh, I wonder if she's still alive. Well, she and her boyfriend back then, they split up. Yeah, he was getting violent. He was, yeah. Yeah, I think certain lifestyle, like after a while, you know, um, eating, she ate fruit, what's that? She ate fruit mostly, and then I think for dinner, she'd have something warm to eat, cook very slightly. And people started disliking her because they said, "Oh, we're with the raw vegan community, and now you're introducing." Yeah, this is it's like a food war because they're all trying to convince you what and how much to eat or something. And if you say something little different, they stop fighting amongst themselves, and they stopped inviting her to any of the vegan program, the vegan, what do you call it, the conventions. Yeah, they didn't use her for a speaker. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like slowly they're introducing to you weird stuff to do. Eat 50 something bananas, or eat these large, I don't know. I don't know people. If something looks weird to you, maybe it is weird. Start saying, is this reasonable? Cook your own food. One thing, I think about with um, with health and everything, like I think about my ancestor that lived to 107 years of age, and her siblings were in the 90s. And my mother right now is in her 90s. She's 94. Well, let me just move this thing. Okay, sorry. Yeah, what I start to notice, people in certain locations, they cook their own food. When you cook your own food, you know basically what's in it. I mean, yes, true. Let's say some of the products that you buy to make the meal, uh, you are you 100% sure what is in it. But if you have basic knowledge, and you can have basic, you can read certain things, you're better off. What I'm saying is that part of controlling our health is we controlling what we put in our mouth, and we control that by making our own food. See, right now, people want to save money. Everything's about money, money, money. And if you want a legitimate business, how are you going to afford the things that you need to buy? Everything's gone up. Everything's imported. So people have to um, buy alternative products or buy products that are modified. What do you call? What do you call it? They're able to mass produce certain things, and it makes it cheaper. Or let's say certain vegetable oils. Yeah, there's another thing with the oils. I mentioned it earlier in this live stream about the margarine. Hydrogenated oils were introduced in the 1970s, and that caused a lot of obesity, and a lot of inflammation and disease. They think by excluding fat from your diet, natural fat, and that is a no-no. When they strip that milk, but like milk used to be whole milk, and it wasn't pasteurized. When you people, when you pasteurize, now they're doing ultra pasteurized. Ultra, that means ultra heat. That means all those enzymes that were in that natural milk is dead. And then they homogenized it. That means they put it through a process. They force the milk to go through like a filter. So it's forever suspended. But your body may have a difficult time digesting this Frankenstein food. And did you know, like in New York City, it's illegal to get raw milk. It's now legal to get weed, the smoke stuff. That's now legal, but you can't get whole milk. I mean, raw milk. They don't want you to get raw anything. Yeah, I'm on a keto diet now for a couple of weeks, but I do take in cream. But I noticed about it says that it's ultra pasteurized, and I'm wondering, when when natural food goes under tremendous heat, is this a safe food to eat in the long run? Will this hurt my body? I don't know. We got to really ask ourselves. And maybe, I mean, I start to wonder, what is my purpose in life? I see all these things happening, and I feel like hopeless. And I said, well, look, I'm in a position now um, that I have the free time to maybe contact my congressperson, or people in government. What could I do? I don't want to just complain, but I'm noticing things, and I'm noticing more because I'm watching more TV, more internet, and getting information. How much is that information accurate? But the fact is, I'm seeing patterns. I'm seeing patterns in health, or the lack of health, and it's getting more and more compromised. You're watching a simple video, then they get certain commercials, and then they're advertising certain types of health products. And the products are being sold the same way, the same type of bottle, the same how it's arranged on the website, and each bottle costs the same amount. You start wondering, is it being manufactured by the same people? And are they creating the problem in the first place? Problem, reaction, solution. Are they about that? Is that what these people are about? I've tried some of these products. And it's like I really don't feel anything different. But I have less money now. Start noticing your behavior, what you do. Start noticing. Start noticing your children, your nieces and nephews, your grandchildren. Do you see things happening to them? Do you things do you see things happen in their body? What is their health? Are they pre-diabetic? 1 out of 3 children are diabetic now. This is unheard of. Diabetes in the past, you get it like in your 40s. Now, these are little children who are pre-diabetic or diabetic, and they're just little ones. The food is killing you, and the Frankenstein people are creating, I believe, are creating disease to sell a product, and to sell a product that gets you in bondage, that continues to alter your natural body, its natural functioning, its natural thinking. We are not thinking carefully. When our little children wake up and complain and say, Mommy, I want to be a boy or a girl. I've never thought things like that. See, they're introducing these weird stuff to further cause social decay in your community. And then now introducing migrants that now you have to support them. And they're bringing children in, and you got to pay for those little kids to go to school, to feed them. These are big ass kids. And it's where I live. These are big kids. And you should see how big the parents are. Yeah, it's a health crisis. And you can bring in all these new people so that they will then become dependent on the medicine. See that? Let's bring in more people that are going to be just as diseased. It's causing havoc. Wow. I don't know where to begin. Well, one thing, be in awareness and do what you can do. What you can do, you can pray. When all else fails, pray. Yes, do your research. Do research, and yes, a lot of research contradicts each other, but ultimately, how do you feel? Use your intuition, people. And if you knew did everything that you can do, don't get angry at yourself. Do your personal best at discovering what works best for you, what works best for your family. And it's okay to say no. If it's okay to say yes, it's also okay to say no when you mean no. Yeah. Yeah, start noticing the changes, the commercials. What they are feeding you information and causing all these weird reactions in people and even in your children. Never heard someone arguing and that they want to get an operation. You couldn't even give a child aspirin in school. You could get thrown out. Now you could have this kid go in a remote site, kidnapping them in essence, or I should say harboring children, so they could get a medical. Who's going to pay for that? Who's paying for that medical procedure? You are. You are. These doctors. I think I don't like a lot of doctors. I don't like them. I feel they compromise themselves. When my primary care physician during the COVID-19 said, "Oh, we don't offer any we don't offer any treatment for that condition." But when I presented her, hey, I heard about this treatment thing. Oh, we cannot. None of the what do you call pharmacies are allowed to have that. So your health system is hijacked. And she's telling me, "Oh, I don't know what you're looking at." Yeah, I'm on the news. I'm watching the news. How is that she's not getting the same news? She wants me to watch the news from the CDC. Just because they're government doesn't mean that they're giving accurate information. You have all these other people. See, they're getting paid. And they're getting paid for policy making. And then you have the private scientists, doctors, and they're at war with one another. Yeah. The COVID 19 was the big reset to take over humanity, to have us throw out common sense. Yeah. So people, yeah, I'm gonna close this video. My iPad is running low on energy, and yeah, start thinking. Start thinking about what's happening in your body. You are your best. You are your own priority. You are the priority for yourself. You always have to start with self first. You start with yourself first and start asking you questions, basic questions. Why wouldn't someone want you to get a particular treatment plan that might be even cheaper or a natural approach? Why? What do they get out of this? Money and power and control. Put that control back in your hands. That's all I'm saying. So I thank you for watching this video, and those of you who like this content, please feel free to support this channel with an offering, my PayPal me account. To do so, you go to my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the banner's right-hand side, you'll see the PayPal me link. Just click on the link, follow the prompts, and any amount would be greatly appreciated. And I am thanking you in advance. I thank you for your blessings upon me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for the thumbs up. Peace, love, joy. Oh, and if you need to comment, you can comment below. If you want to email me certain questions or statements, you can email me at spiritofazalea@gmail.com. And that link, that address is also on my About page. Okay. So I thank you.